Hello everyone, my name is Goyal and this is lecture 2 of this chapter statistic, right? As I told you, statistic is very important chapter. Okay. So in today's lecture we are going to cover these topics, okay? First is frequency polygon. See, in previous lecture I already told you how to draw the graph of frequency polygon, okay? We do a question in previous lecture, okay? And in today's lecture, we also learn about how we draw the graphs of frequency polygon. Okay. Next is measure of central tendency. See, these three things are comes in the category of measure of central tendency. First is mean, then median, and then we are going to learn about mode also. Okay. So about these three things we are going to learn about in this lecture. Okay. As I told you, this graph shows what? This graph is in the form of is in the form of bar graph, right? Okay. So today we are going to start with frequency polygon. A frequency polygon is a graph constructed by using lines to join the midpoints of each interval or bin. Okay. The heights of the point represent the frequencies. The height, what the height represent of that point? The frequency of that particular data. Okay. The frequency polygon can be created from the histogram or by calculating the midpoints of the bins or intervals from the frequency distribution table. Okay, so what we have to do, listen, what we have to do, see, if this histogram is given for a particular data, okay, so what we have to do, we have to find out the midpoints of this. So for this one, 140 to 145, 145 is the midpoint. See how we find the midpoints: 140 plus 150 upon 2. So it will be what? 290 divided by 2, it will be 145. So 145 is the midpoint. Similarly for 150 to 160, 150 plus 160 upon 2, how much it is? If you solve this, you will get 155 is the midpoint. Same for this one and same for this one. Now see, what we have to do, we have to take the line before starting from this point. Okay, so we have to take the midpoint of this point also, 135 to 140, because the interval 135 to 140 is not given in our table, frequency distribution table. So that's why we take the frequency as 0, and same do for next one, 190, 180 to 190. Okay, not given in the frequency distribution table, that's why we can take the frequency of that particular interval as 0. Are you getting my point? Okay, now see, we have a data. What we have to do, we have to, in a batch, 400 students are there. The height of the students of the given is given in the following table. Represent it through a frequency polygon. Okay, so see, if you see for this particular data, in x-axis, what we have to take? Height in centimeter, and number of students on y-axis. Students on y-axis. Okay, so if you see, that interval is started from 140. So we started the interval from 140, but as I told you, we have to take 130 also, right? Now if you see, this interval is uneven, non-uniform. So what we have to do, we have to draw a kink sign over there. So 140, 150, 160, 170, 180, and up to 190, right? Now the data is very large, so we have to take difference of 20. We can take difference of 20, right, on a y-axis. So 20, 40, 60, 80, okay, 100, 120, 140, 160, or 180, right? We can take like that. Okay, now for 140 to 150, the bar is for 74. So 74 is come in this one, right, like this. Okay, if you take a proper bar graph paper, then you can draw a proper bars, right? 163. Now next is what? 163. 163 is like this, right? 135. 135 is there. Okay, Next is 28. 28 is there, and for 180 to 190 there is no graph. Okay, now what we have to do, we have to find out the midpoints of these bars. So for this one, I can write down the midpoints here. Okay, midpoint. Okay, let me erase this. Yes, now I can do midpoint. Okay, see, for 140 to 150, midpoint is what? 140 plus 150 divided by 2, isn't it? So I think it will be 145, right? This is 155, this is 165, this is 175, right? Okay, so we started from this point 145 like this, right? And this is 185 and this is 135. So as I told you, we started from 0. So we have to draw the lines like this, straight line, and these are straight line. Okay, so we got this graph. Okay, if you use proper scaling, then you can got a proper graph. Let me show you how proper graph is look like. So if you see, these are the following steps. See, in paper you have to write down the steps also. Okay, so that's why I'm going to tell you how we draw this graph. The following steps are to be followed to construct a histogram from the given data. Okay, now first is what? The height are represented, the heights are represented on the horizontal axis on a suitable scale as shown. Okay, the number of student is represent on the vertical axis on a suitable scale as shown. So height in centimeter is represented on horizontal axis, and number of student is represented on vertical axis. Okay, on a suitable scale as shown. Got it. Now rectangular bars of width equal to the class size. The width of that rectangular bar is what? 150 to 145, which is class size given in the table. The length of the bar corresponding to the frequency of the class interval is drawn. Okay, now as I told you, first of all we have to draw the bars. Okay, like this. Then after that, what we have to do, we have to find out the midpoints. So at midpoint, this is for 145, 155. Okay, let me change the color. Yes, 145 is the midpoint, 155 is the midpoint, 165 is the midpoint, 175, and this is 185. Okay, and this is 130, this is 130, and this is 135. This point is 135. So what we have to do, we have to join these points AB, then BC, then CD, then DE, and then EF. So we got this graph as frequency polygon graph. Okay, so in frequency polygon graph, what we have to do, we have to draw first histogram, then with the help of that histogram we can draw frequency distribution graph. Are you getting my point? So it is very easy to understand, right? Okay, now next topic is very important. Next topic is very important. Okay, for your exam point of view, measures of central tendency. Okay, measure of central tendency, as I told you, central tendency divided in three parts. First is mean, second is median, third is what? Mode. So we are going to learn about all these parts in this lecture. Okay, okay, so what is the meaning of measure of central tendency? A measure of central tendency is a summary statistic that represent the center point or typical value of the data set. Okay, so basically we have a data. So the central tendency is what? The center point, or we can say that the typical value of the data set. Okay, we can use for an डेटा, है ना? देखो हमारे पास एक डेटा है बहुत सारा, ठीक है? अब मेरे को उस डेटा का एक वैल्यू जो है वो मेरे को यूज करना है किसी कैलकुलेशन में. आई वांट्स टू डू, आई वांट्स टू टेक अ date, I want to take a value for calculation purpose. So we can take one value, either it is mean, mode, median, है ना? तो देखो, for example, if a batsman played 1000 matches and he score 5000 runs in 1000 matches, or we can say that in 100 matches he scores 500 runs, okay, or 5000 runs. So if I want to know कि average of that particular batsman is what? So what we have to do, we have to divide that number of runs upon number of matches, right? So it will be 50 is the average. So this is the central tendency of the particular data. Okay. Okay. So that average is also known as mean. Mean is also known as what? Average. Okay. Okay. In statistics, the three most common measure of central tendency are mean, median, and mode. Each of these measure calculates the location of the central point using a different method. Okay. We can find mean, median, and mode with the help of different methods. Okay. Okay. So first we are talking about what? Mean. Okay. So see, mean is of three types: geometric mean, harmonic mean, and weighted mean. But we are going to learn about simple arithmetic mean. In our course, there is only arithmetic mean. Okay. Now what is it is? Listen. The means represent the average value. As I told you in previous slide, mean is also known as what? Average of the data set. It can be calculated as a sum of all the values in the data set divide the number of values. Okay. So if we have the data for a batsman score in 10 matches like 10, 20, 20, 30, 40, and 50, we can take 5 matches. So if we have the data for 5 matches like this, so if I'm asking for the mean of this data or average of this data, so how we do that? First of all, we have to add these values, and it's going to be divided by number of matches. How many number of values are there? 5. So we got this one. So it will be what? 50 plus 30 is 80. 80 plus 20, 21, 20, right? Upon 5. Okay, so how much we got? 24 runs average per match. Okay, so if we have n observations, if we have, if there are n observations, like x1, x2, x3, x4, and so on up to xn. So the value of mean, it can be represented by x bar. It will be what? x1 plus x2 plus x3 plus and so on. We have to add them upon total number of observation is n. So this is the formula we are going to use for mean calculation. Are you getting my point? Okay. Now see, this is the formula when frequency are not there, frequency distributions are not there. If frequency distributions are there, then how we do that? Let me take some space. Yes, I can do the formula here. Okay, if frequency distribution are there means mean, we cover mean here. Okay, so what is the meaning of if frequency distribution is given? See, if there are an observation x1 comma x2 comma x3 comma x4 and so on up to xn with frequencies f1, f2, f3 and so on up to fn respectively. So what is the mean? Now mean becomes what? x1 f1 plus x2 f2 plus x3 f3 plus and so on up to xn fn upon f1 plus f2 plus f3 plus and so on up to fn, or this quantity can be written as summation. See, summation is what? When we want to add something, we want to add, okay, a series. Okay, so it will be I is from 1 to n xi fi upon summation I is 1 to n fi. See, it means what? The summation makes addition in a loop. Okay, so it loops means what? First we take the value of I as 1, so it gives x1 f1. Then we have to put a summation sign. Summation means plus sign, and after that we have to take the value of I as 2. It gives x2 f2 plus then 3 up to what? N, up to this quantity up to n. Okay, same in denominator, f1 plus f2 plus f3 up to fn is known as what? Summation I is equals to 1 to n fi. Are you getting my point? So this is all about what? Mean. If frequency is not given, then we can use the formula directly. It is x1 plus x2 plus x3 plus x4 up to xn upon n. And if their corresponding frequencies is given, then what we have to do? We have to take another formula, which is x1 f1 plus x2 f2 plus x3 f3 upon f1 plus f2 plus f3 up to fn. Okay, now median is what? Median is the middle number, middle most value for the data. Okay, so median is the middle value of the data in which the data set is arranged in the ascending order or in the descending order. When the data set contains even number of values, then the median value of the data set can be found by taking the mean of the middle two values. Okay. Okay. So what we have to do if we have a data? So first of all, we have to arrange that data in ascending order or in descending order. If first case one is what? If number of values in data set is odd, let me take number of values as n. Number of values is equals to n. So if the number of values in the data set is n, so median is what? Median is n plus 1 by 2th term. This is the median of that particular data. Are you getting my point? Okay, next is what? Next case second, if number of values in data set is even, okay, where number of values is again n, we can take number of values as n. So now the median is average of, what is the median? See, let me write down it again. See, the median is average of n by 2th term and n by 2th plus 1th term. We have to take the mean of these two terms. Are you getting my point? Okay, so what is the formula we have? Let me write down the formula here. Okay, I can write down the formula here. So for case 2, median is n by 2th term. The average is what? That average of two quantity. If we have two numbers a and b, so what is the average of that particular two numbers is what? A plus b divided by 2. So the median for that particular data is what? N by 2th term plus n by 2 plus 1 term upon 2. Are you getting my point? Okay, now for this data, if we have a data like this, yes, let me change the color first. Okay, yes, now I have to select the pen. Okay, by mistake I select the highlighter. Yes, now it is pen. Now see, if we have the data, okay, 23, 21, 18, 16, 15, 13, 12, 10, 9, 7, 6, 5, 2. So what we have to do, see, this is already given in descending order. So there is no need to arrange in ascending order. Either you can arrange the data in ascending order or in descending order. If the data is already given in either ascending order then or descending order, then there is no need to arrange them again. So what I can do, first of all, I have to count how many terms are there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So 13 terms are there. So as I told you, if the number of terms is odd, then median is what? 13 plus 1. Median is what? 13 plus 1 upon 2th term. So how much it is? 7th term. So for this data, the 7th term is our median. Okay. So this is first, second, third, fourth, 5, 6, and 7. So if you see 12 is the median of this particular data. Are you getting my point? ठीक है? Okay, so you can do this, right? Okay. 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 So 13 term is the median of this particular data. Okay, fair enough. ठीक है. अच्छा, if number of terms is even, means if I remove this 2 from this data, let us assume if I remove this 2 from this data, so how many terms are there now? 12 terms are there. So what is the median? For now, what is the median? Median is what? 12 by mean of 12 by 2th term plus 12 by 2 plus 1th term upon 2 is the answer. So 12 by 2th मतलब 6th term plus 7th term upon 2. So you can tell me what is the 6th term? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 13 is the 6th term and 12 is the 7th term. So 13 plus 12 by 2 is the answer, right? So if you add 13 and 12, how much you got? 25 by 2. So it will be 12.5. Answer is 12.5 is the median. Are you getting my point? Are you getting this? So there are two important points we have to remember. If number of terms in a particular data set is even, then we have to take the mean of two quantities, two terms, which is n by 2th term and n by 2th plus 1th term. Okay, are you getting my point? And if the number of terms is odd, then the median is what? N plus 1 by 2th term. Very simple. If the number of term is odd, then it is simple, right? And if number of terms is even, then we have to take the average of two median terms, middle term basically. Okay. Okay, now next is mode. See, mode is very simple. Mode is what? The number which comes frequently, which occur frequently in the data set. Or we can say that the number whose frequency is larger, that is the mode. Okay, so if I am talking about the definition of mode, the mode represents the frequently occurring value in the data set. Simple as that. Okay. Okay, sometimes the data set may contain multiple modes. In some cases it doesn't contain any mode at all. Okay, so if you see it, any data, if in any data 5 comes 3 times, 4 comes 3 times, 3 comes 3 times, and so on, so in that data there is no mode. Okay, so if we have data like this, so we can arrange either it is in ascending order or descending order. It is for your convenient. Okay, if you don't want to arrange them, this is enough. Fine, this is fine. So if you see 5 comes 3 times, right? 4 comes 2 times, 3 come 1 time, 2 comes 2 times, 1 comes 1 time. So if you see 5 comes more, so 5 is the mode of this particular data. Mode is what? 5. Simple as that. Very simple. If you want to find out the mode, it is very simple to calculate. Okay, got it? Okay, now move to next question. Now we are going to do some questions. Okay, so first question is find the median, mean, and mode and range. And now the last thing is what? Range. Range of any data. Range of any data is what? Maximum value minus minimum value. Simple as that. So if I want to find out the range of this data, maximum is 5 and minimum is 1. So the range is 4. Simple as that. Okay. Now we have the data. Okay. So first of all, I want to find out what? Mean. First thing is what? Mean. If I want to find out mean of this data. So mean is what? As you know, we have to add them all. So 13 plus 18 plus 13 plus 14 plus then 13 plus 16 plus 14 plus 21 and plus 13, right? Upon number of date terms, how many number of Values are there 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we have to divide this by this quantity by 9. Okay. So 13 plus 18. 31 plus 13. 43, 44, sorry. 44 plus 14. 48 and 10, 58. 58 plus 13, 71, right? 71 plus 16. 71 plus 16, 87. 87 plus 14, 91. 87 plus 14 is 101, right? 101 plus 21, 122. 122 plus 13, 122 plus 13, 125, 135, right? It will be 135 by 9. So if you divide this quantity by 9, how much you got? How much you got if you divide this? 15, I think, right? So the mean of this data is what? 15. Okay. Now median. So for median, what you have to do, you have to arrange them either in ascending order or in descending order. So I can arrange in ascending order. So 13, 13. See, 13 I can take 13. 4 times 13 comes. Okay. Then 14, 2 times 14. Then 16 one time, right? Then 18 and 21. So as you know, number of terms is odd, 9, and the value of n is 9. So the median is what? Median is what? N plus 1 by 2th term. Yes or no? So means it will be 5th term is the median. Median is what? 5th term. So if you see first 7, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 14 is the median. So median is what? 14. Got it? Now mod is what? I can do mod here, okay? Mod. Yes. So for mod, if you see in this data, 13 comes 4 times. If you able to see this, 13 come 4 times, 14 come 2 times, 16 one time, 18 one time, and 19 one time. So as I told you, the number whose frequency is larger, मतलब जो सबसे ज्यादा बार आ रहा है, right? So 13 comes more, right? So answer will be 13 only. So the mode for this particular data is what? 13. Okay. So if you see the and range, it is also asking for range, right? So range is what? Maximum minus minimum. So maximum is 19 and minimum is 13, right? No, 21 are left, right? Na? 21 left हो गया ना, 21 रह गया. So I have to take 21 also, right? Now the number of terms become 13. Now let me do it again. Okay, I just make a mistake. I just forgot to take 21, right? So I have to remove this and I have to draw this again. Okay, है ना? 21 रह गया ना अपना by mistake, कोई बात नहीं ना, दोबारा कर लेते हैं. We can do it again. Okay, no problem. Okay, so if you see, है ना, मोड सही है, मीडियन हमने सही निकाला है, बस मीन हमने सही निकाला है. वी डन अ मिस्टेक फॉर मीडियन, है ना? अब देखो दोबारा ना. सो नंबर ऑफ टर्म्स कितनी है? अब देखो 9 है ना, अभी भी 9 है. ठीक है, आंसर सही है बट हमने यहाँ पे लिखा गलत है. आंसर अभी भी देखो 9 टर्म्स, तो अभी भी 9 ही है ना. टर्म्स तो नंबर ऑफ 9 टर्म्स इज 9. सो मीडियन अगेन क्या होगा? 5th टर्म होगा. तो 5th टर्म क्या हो जाएगा? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. सो मीडियन इज अगेन 4. But what we do a mistake, we've done a mistake, we can't write 21. So 21 नहीं लिखने से हमारा क्या होगा? रेंज में दिक्कत आ जाएगा ना. मोड अभी भी कितना होगा? 13 होगा. Mode is now also 13. Okay. Now range is what? Maximum minus minimum. So it will be 21 minus 13. 21 is maximum and 13 is minimum. So the range is also now is 8. Okay. Now if you see this question, solution is there. Okay, this is the data we have. So for median, what we have to do, we have to add them all and divide it by 9. So what we get? 16. Okay. Okay, now the median is the middle value. So we have to write down in ascending order, or if you want to write down that in descending order, then you can do it. So if you see, we can write down all of them in ascending order. Now number of terms is what? 9 numbers in the list. So middle one is what? 9 plus 1 divided by 2th, which is fifth term. So fifth number is the median, so 14 is the median, right? And for mode, 13 comes 3 times, right? So 13 is the mode, median is 14, and mean is 15. And range is 8. Range is what? Maximum is 21, minimum is 13, and answer is 8. Are you getting my point? Very nice. Now there are some practice question, we have to do them, okay? So we are going to do them now, okay? Okay, so we are going to take one by one. Okay. 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 Now first find the mean of first 10 whole numbers. So whole numbers are what? 0 plus 1 plus 2 plus 3. First question, huh? Plus 4 plus 5 plus 6 plus 7 plus 8 plus 9. Up to 9, they are 10 whole numbers, right? Upon 10. So if you add them, so 3 plus 3, 6. 6 plus 4, 10. 10 plus 5, 15. 21, 28. 28 plus 8. 28 plus 8 is what? 36, right? 36 plus 9 is what? 45 by 10. So the answer for first question is 5.5. Okay, now find the mean of first 5 prime numbers. You can do it this question by your own. Okay, this is for your homework. I can tell you which are the prime numbers we have to add. 2, 1 is not prime number, neither composite number. 2, 3, 5, 7, and 9. 9 is not the prime number. 11. So we have to add these number and divide it by 5 is the answer. Okay, now you can do this home question as your homework. Okay, this is also for your homework. Okay, now the following observation are arranged in a ascending order. The median of this data is 25. So then find the value of x. This is good question. Okay, now see, we have the data are already in ascending order, right? So the data is what? 17 comma x comma 24 comma x plus 7 comma 35 comma 36 comma 46. Now the median is given. Median of this particular data, median is what? 25. Now number of terms is what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Number of terms is 7. So median is what? If number of terms is odd, so the median is what? N plus 1 divided by 2, right? Is the median. So median is what? 7 plus 1 divided by 2th term, isn't it? So according to this data, median is what? 7 plus 1 divided by 2 means 4th term is the median. Means 1, 2, 3, 4. This one is the median. X plus 7 is the median. Now in the question it is given that this quantity is equals to what? 25. So the value of x is what? 25 minus 7. So if you solve this, the value of x you will got as 18. So 18 is our required answer. If you see, 18 is our required answer. 4.5 is for first one and 18 for the this one. Okay. Okay. So you can do this question like that. Okay. Okay, very nice, very nice, very nice, very nice. Okay, so this is all about this part. In this part, we learn about the most 3 parts, which is mean, mode, median. These are very important because mean, mode, median are also comes in class 10. Okay. Okay, so this is all about for today's lecture. Okay, so you can do the questions from NCERT. Okay. Okay, so thank you so much. Stay safe and enjoy. See you in next lecture. Bye.